must be clear to everybody. The British Army was sent in here with a command to restore law and order. When law and order was restored, to go home. Now, as soon as they get the barricades down, that is a definite sign, as far as the army would be concerned, that law and order was being restored. They'd pack up and go home, and where, after 3 solid days fighting, after the young fellows whom some people had the damn cheek to call hooligans, fought for the lives of the people of the Bogside from that roof without food for 3 days, where would they be? Army gone home, back to law and order, so-called, under a unionist, so-called democratic government. They would be in here, and the people in this country still remember. Some of the fellas that were fighting here still remember the late 50s, the early 60s, when innocent people were picked up.
Well, is it also to keep the British troops out?
To keep the British troops on the barricades, on their barricades, where they are supposed to be.
Is there any suggestion that they have come in this morning?
Colonel Todd was in here this morning, strolling around pleasantly. I walked out this door, saw Colonel Todd. I never saw the man in my life before. I have nothing against him. Of course he was. Yeah. A fellow brought him in just to talk to the people. Now, I have no objection to him coming in, but he is not coming in. You know, as an individual, I don't object to him. But as a British officer, he is not coming in here while the B Specials are walking around the Buncrana Road, stopping cars, firing on cars, are terrorising women and children in the waterside. Did you take this up with him this morning? And are murdering, murdering children. He said that he could move the B Specials on from one spot, but the B Specials are the civil powers. And this is the point that we must emphasise. At the moment, the British Army is protecting the people here from the B Specials coming in. They can do that best by being out themselves on their own barricades. But
well, to the people of the Bogside, to rebuild the barriers and man them again doesn't necessarily mean a renewal of violence. As long as the police remain out of the Bogside and the soldiers remain on the fringe but do not come into Bogside, peace is likely to continue. Nevertheless, the people of Bogside have made a number of demands. Among these is that the B Special patrols be withdrawn from the Derry area, and indeed that the B Special force generally should be suspended. They have also asked that all those who fought in Bogside during the recent trouble should benefit from an amnesty. If those are not given, and until they are given, they say they are still at war with Stormont. This is how Miss Devlin called on the people to go back to the barriers.
We are in here. The police, the B Specials are right out, and the army are between the two of us. And that is the way we want it, and that is the way we will keep it. Therefore, what we want to do now is show that the people, British Army cannot just walk around here because there's nobody on the barricades. Now, I want men here, the men standing around here, to divide themselves up and to make sure there are about 10 men on each of the barricades. Then, when you're at the barricades, you're all people from this area. Pick some one man that you all know. Now, don't pick a fella that you don't know, or you don't know who he is. Pick a man that you all know has lived here all his life, that you know has been in this area and you know you can trust. And tell him he's the chief man for a certain period of time, and organise yourselves to watch people coming in and out. Now, all through the fighting, the women in this area did a great deal of work. Some of them made petrol bombs, some of them made tea, some of them made sandwiches, some of them carried stones. The kids did a great deal of work. Now, if the men go to the barricades, what the women can do is start tidying up the area. Now, that is easily done because it just means that you tidy up outside your own place.